The TCU Horned Frogs are headed to the national title game. They just beat Michigan. Final score was 51-45. Dramatic fashion. I tweeted it out. That game in itself, in my humble opinion, was the best movie of 2022. And I don't think it was particularly that close. TCU, let's just kind of set the table. Going into the year, the expectation was, hey, if you get back to a bowl game, man, that'd be great. Year one under Sonny Dykes, hopefully you can get back to being competitive, because we like when TCU's competitive. It's good for the Big 12, and it's just fun for college football, right? Hopefully TCU can get up off the mat just a little bit. Well, all they did in year one was take a team that hasn't had a ton of postseason experience to the college football playoff, and now they're headed to the national title game after knocking off the number 2 team in college football. And this is a game for the ages, but let's look at what TCU did in this game. When I think about why TCU won, it's kind of simplistic to say, but they just created more opportunities for themselves. I mean, you look at that, the pass game. I mean, they had 2 interceptions for pick sixes against J.J. McCarthy. They made him feel uncomfortable. It felt like the majority of the night. They were scrappy. Even when they had their back against the wall, down on the goal line, they force a fumble, they recover it. And I mean, they just continued to swing. And going into this game, the thought was Michigan's that bully on the block, right? Michigan is the team that's going to play bully ball. They said it. They're going to play smash fest with you. And the reality was TCU got out of the gates hot, going to half 21-6. And that was the kind of game that we had originally thought TCU could potentially win. You knew Michigan was a second-half team. TCU's a pretty good second-half team, too, as it turns out, as many of y'all know throughout the duration of this year. And created enough of a cushion going into half, which is great, right? You're happy to have a lead. That's awesome, phenomenal. Get to the second half, and there was no playing to... There was, how do I say this? Many times when you are the underdog, you get into position where you start to play not to lose, as opposed to playing to win. And from what I saw from TCU, they just kept their foot on the gas. Was it perfect? No. Did Max Duggan have some plays he wants to have back? Of course. But TCU was scrappy, they were gritty, and they continued to swing for the fence. I've said it in a different video, but TCU just routinely threw haymakers. They were the aggressor in this game. They were supposed to be that team that's new to this spot. Michigan's the big bad bully that's been here before, and they're going for unfinished business, which is phenomenal. And it's not to knock Michigan at all, but I'm just so impressed by the poise and the competitive excellence and the standard that TCU held themselves to in this kind of game. I think that reflects the experience of the roster in terms of their leadership with Quentin Johnson and with Max Duggan, and also Sonny Dykes and that entire staff. I mean, I've said it before, their strength and conditioning, Coach Kaz, one of the best in the country. There was absolutely zero flinch in that Horned Frog football team. And I think that's a huge reason why they won that game. They refused to be intimidated, and it paid dividends in the end, obviously, as they're now headed to the national championship. Really quickly, if you haven't yet subscribed to the Hard Count on the On3 YouTube channel, man, now's the time. We'd love to have y'all here. It's a party. Go live on Tuesday, go live on Thursdays, 1 Central, 2 Eastern. Come join us. We have a good time. Also, follow me on Twitter and on Instagram at JDPikel. So going forward, here's the reality. If you're TCU, you have now earned the right to swing for the crown. And it's one of those things to where it doesn't matter what was said about TCU weeks ago. It doesn't matter what was said about them going into the season. Max Duggan wasn't even the starting quarterback going into the season. They'd be lucky to get back to a bowl game. They'd be lucky to have any success at trying to win the conference title. And all of that doesn't matter. Because guess what? Now it's a 1-game season for Sonny Dykes' company. Now it is 4 quarters of everything you hoped and dreamed of, playing for a national championship. And TCU is going to get the same kind of buzz. Nationally, it's going to be, well, I don't know if TCU matches up well with insert whatever team here. And it's going to be a conversation around their personnel and what they don't have. And folks, we were saying the same thing about this game. We've counted them out all year long. I say we because I include myself in that conversation. I mean, I did not think they would win this football game, and TCU just showed up, didn't flinch, very transactional, handled their business, had a great game plan, routinely gashed Michigan to the tune of 263 rushing yards, imposed their will. They were the bully. They were the hammer, not the nail. Like I said, they were the aggressor. And I'm just very, very impressed by this program. Very impressed by what they did and how they executed their game plan. They didn't go out there and try and just reinvent the wheel. Didn't go out there and just a totally different defense. They stuck to who they were, stuck to their identity, and had the confidence that that would be enough. And as it turns out, it very much was. So TCU is headed to the national title game. Who would have thought I'd be saying that when we kick this thing off in August? Who would have thought? But the Horned Frogs headed to the ship. If you haven't yet subscribed, now's the time, y'all. Would love to have you. This has been the Hard Count. Nick Break lifting heavy. This is your operation. This is your show. So we appreciate you locking in with us. Again, we're live on Tuesday and Thursday. Come hang out. We have a lot of fun there. Also, on the socials, at JD Piquel on Twitter and Instagram. Throw me a follow. We'll interact. It'll be phenomenal. We're going to keep the party rolling, and we will see y'all next time. Hey, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of the Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.